My name is Andrew Klein, and I'm here for Nova News. Today, we are joined by presidential candidate Caroline Levine and vice presidential candidate Ivanica Skalko, who are running for the SGA student body president and vice president. Thank you and welcome.
Thanks
Our
for having
first
us.
question today is, what made you decide to run for your respective positions and want to take a leadership role on this campus?
Yeah, well, thanks for having us, Andrew. I know Eva and I are both excited to talk to you. So I can start. I think, so I served this year as the student body vice president. So me deciding to run kind of started with having a lot of conversations with everyone I serve with in SGA and faculty and staff that have mentored me here and all different people, and kind of talking about what I would want to do if I was running and kind of what issues I'd want to focus on. I think Amanda and I, the current president, have had to focus so much on community first and so much on dealing with COVID and all the challenges of this year, that there's still things I want to see changed here.
Yeah, going off of what Caroline said, I think these past 2 semesters have been pretty difficult just in terms of being a student government leader. As chief of staff, I feel like a lot of my work this past year has just been on COVID communications and different issues, but I feel like I haven't really gotten to do a lot of the things that I initially wanted to do in the role. So I'm really excited to see what hopefully the next year looks like as VP.
So obviously we've talked a lot about your SGA experience already, but what other experience, leadership or otherwise, do you have from on this campus and even prior to arriving at Villanova that you think will make you a great candidate and give you a great platform to continue leading the student body?
In high school, did a lot of volunteering and leadership things in various positions of my high school, but I don't feel like I really blossomed in leadership roles or experience until I came to Villanova. Being in student government has pushed me in a lot of different ways that I just had never expected, and really just kind of forced me to be a leader and lead a bunch of different things that I want to see through on this campus.
Yeah, and so similar to Eva, I was like the over-involved kid in high school. I played sports. I was the captain for some of my sports and was doing a lot of different things. I did yearbook, all kinds of stuff. And then coming to Villanova, I think I did a similar thing of trying out a lot of different activities. And for me, it's like, I mean, I would say for the past year, student government's really been my focus because this is a big job that takes up a lot of time. I have really enjoyed being a part of Greek life and being a part of some other kind of communities on campus. I have gotten to do some service and justice experience trips and have met people through that. And I think it's kind of just different places on campus where I've gotten to meet people and get to know people that maybe weren't in my direct community. It's kind of part of SGA, but kind of not. Is over the past year and a half, I worked with the government relations office on campus to put together a campus voter initiative called Let's Vote Nova. And so that gave me so many experiences in leadership, but also in communications and bringing people together, and also a great chance to meet different people on campus I wouldn't have met.
So we've talked a lot about skills that you can bring to the table and past experience, but what are you planning to what are you specifically campaigning on, and what do you plan to work on as some of your first things if you are elected to your offices?
Yeah, I mean, Caroline and I have obviously talked a lot about this to different groups on campus already, but we have a couple of initiatives and broad overarching goals that we have for our campaign. One of the first things that we really want to focus on that has been a focus that we've wanted to have for the past year, but it's kind of gotten pushed out of the way because of COVID. But mental health advocacy and awareness is something that is kind of at the front of our campaign goals. We really want to, push out that limit that's on the number of counseling sessions that you can have as an undergrad student, and also get more counselors of diverse backgrounds and identities in the counseling center, just so that everyone has access to that resource as a student on campus. And then we have a couple of other things. Caroline, I don't know if you want to add.
Yeah, so I think the other kind of huge focus Eva and I have, and something that we definitely talked about, throughout this year in our work we've been doing, but then also in our decision to run, was diversity, equity, and inclusion work, both what we can do to focus that within student government. But then I think kind of summing all of it up, we also really see a role for SGA in terms of, being this organization of students and in how we encourage students to really focus on their relations as students to each other. And
So before we close out, I just want to give you the opportunity to share how students can contact you if they have any further questions. So I know you have an Instagram account. You both have school emails. So share whatever you want to share about how people can get in touch with you.
So our campaign Instagram is at vote.levine.skalko. Our personal Instagrams are also linked on that. If you have any questions, concerns, anything, our DMs are always open, and obviously we'd love to hear from students and take any feedback into consideration. My personal school email is iskalko@villanova.edu. Caroline?
Yeah. And mine is clevine1@villanova.edu.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to sit down and kind of discuss some of these things with me today. I wish you the best of luck with the rest of your campaign. We'll see what happens come Friday night. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.